You know, in this crazy, fast-paced world of crypto, some of the most interesting ideas pop up in the most unexpected places. Today, we're going to dive into a story that's all about patience, community, and a rabbit in a top hat. Yep, you heard that right. Let's get into this really unique story from the Cardano ecosystem. So, here he is. Meet MrFerrero. Okay, well, this is his avatar, the face of a pretty modest but really passionate project on the Cardano blockchain. And he's here to show us a totally different way of thinking about crypto.
And that really begs the question, right? What on earth can a tiny little tree that takes years of careful work teach us about digital money and blockchain? Well, as you're about to see, it's a lot more than you'd think.
Okay, so let's get into it. What's the mission here? This isn't one of those stories about getting huge venture capital funding or having some kind of explosive launch. Nope, this is about a rabbit with a very specific goal. At its heart, Bonsai Masters is really pushing back against all that hype you see everywhere in crypto. It's a project that chooses to stay small. Why? So it can focus 100% on its most important asset, its people, its community. The vision isn't about moonshots, it's about building real, lasting value for the members. And this whole idea of lasting value, that brings us right back to the name, Bonsai Masters. It's not just a cool name, it's literally their guiding philosophy. It's all about that slow, deliberate growth that creates deep, strong roots that can't be shaken. And when you put these two side by side, the difference is, well, it's night and day. On one side, you have the typical crypto hype, all about speed, volatility, and chasing those quick wins. But the Bonsai approach? It's all about patience, long-term value, and staying grounded. They're basically choosing sustainability over just pure speculation. And that's a big deal.
Okay, so it's one thing to have a nice philosophy, right? But talk is cheap. How does this actually play out in the real world? Let's look at exactly how they put this community-first idea into practice.
Well, the engine behind the whole thing is what they call their community rewards model. And look, this isn't just some vague promise on a website. It's how the whole thing actually works. Funds from the project are actively plowed back in to create real, tangible benefits for the very people who support it.
It really creates this amazing virtuous cycle. It all starts small, with fun little games on their Discord to get everyone involved. Then it moves up to sharing profits with members every single month. And maybe the most important part? They invest back into the wider ecosystem, supporting other Cardano projects. This doesn't just help Bonsai Masters, it helps strengthen the whole network. And that, if you know Cardano, fits right in with the collaborative spirit of the community.
So, with this strong community foundation, MrFerrero decided to take on something new, an educational YouTube channel. The goal? To demystify the very ecosystem they're all a part of.
But, that's a huge challenge, right? Blockchains can be super intimidating, especially one with as much going on as Cardano. So how in the world do you break all that down for the average person?
And their answer? It's actually refreshingly simple. They're not focused on flashy graphics or big-budget videos. It's all about giving honest, clear explanations and updates that genuinely help people understand what's happening. It's substance over style, pure and simple.
I mean, this quote just says it all, doesn't it? Their goal is to make Cardano accessible without needing a no degree to understand it. It's about empowering everyone, whether you are a total newcomer or you've been around for a while, by giving them a real, genuine understanding.
So when you put it all together, the slow growth, the focus on community, this drive for education, it all points to something much, much bigger.
See, for MrFerrero, Bonsai Masters isn't just some isolated project. He sees it as a kind of mirror, a small-scale reflection of what makes the entire Cardano ecosystem so special. That strong, genuine, and really committed community. The project's values are the community's values.
And it all comes down to this one simple but really powerful idea. It's not I am building on Cardano. It's we are Cardano. That says everything about the shared identity and collective spirit that you just don't see everywhere else in crypto.
So I guess that leaves us with one last thing to think about. We spend so much time talking about tech specs, transaction speeds, all that stuff. But what if the true strength, the most valuable part of a blockchain isn't the code at all? What if it's the culture? What if the real measure of success is the patience and care of the community that's building it, one small branch at a time?